There's a moment when Tony Soprano, fork in hand, sitting at his family's dinner table mutters, "Lately, I'm getting the feeling that I came in at the end." That single line, quiet and almost tossed away, is the emotional heartbeat of The Sopranos. It's not just Tony speaking, it's America, it's masculinity, it's the collapse of old codes and the confusion of new ones. In that sentence lies the tragedy of Tony Soprano, a man who knows the world he was built for is dying, and yet he doesn't know how to live in one that's replacing it. He's a mob boss in therapy, a killer who loves ducks, a family man who destroys his own home. He is the contradiction that built television's modern antihero and the mirror reflecting our collective moral decay. Tony Soprano is the kind of character who makes you forget where sympathy ends and revulsion begins. He's a man who orders executions with a phone call, yet panics when his teenage daughter slams her bedroom door. The therapy scenes with Dr. Melfi strip away his armor layer by layer, exposing a man who is powerful yet powerless, trapped between the codes of the mafia and the fragility of modern life. Each session reveals that Tony's true war isn't against rival gangs or the FBI, it's against himself. His anxiety attacks are his body's rebellion against the lie he's built his life upon, that control equals strength, and that power can silence pain. In the suburbs of New Jersey, Tony's house becomes a battleground of generational conflict and moral confusion. Carmela, his wife, embodies both complicity and conscience, torn between the comfort his crimes provide and the damnation she feels in her soul. His children, Meadow and AJ, drift between privilege and despair, haunted by the blood money that built their lives. The home, meant to be Tony's sanctuary, instead becomes a haunting metaphor for the modern American family, outwardly perfect, inwardly rotting. Every backyard barbecue, every Sunday dinner, feels like a fragile performance of normalcy masking the truth that Tony's world is built on guilt, lies, and violence. But what makes Tony Soprano more than just a criminal, or even a character, is how human he feels. His depression, his loneliness, his search for meaning amid chaos make him painfully relatable. The therapy sessions aren't just for him, they're for us. When Tony asks, "What happened to Gary Cooper?" longing for the strong, silent type, he's really asking what happened to certainty, to simplicity, to the illusion that men could be unbreakable. That question echoes through the entire series, turning The Sopranos into more than a mob drama. It becomes a meditation on identity, morality, and the death of the American dream. Tony is both king and prisoner. His kingdom is one of strip malls, waste management companies, and blood-soaked loyalty. Yet every triumph comes with an invisible toll. The murders don't just bury victims, they bury pieces of Tony's humanity. Each act of brutality chips away at the illusion of control until we're left watching a man devoured by his own hunger for dominance. He's trapped in a cycle of violence and guilt that no amount of Prozac or pasta can fix. The more he tries to manage his empire, the more he realizes he can't manage himself. And then there's the ending, the cut to black that still echoes in pop culture. Was he killed? Did he live? Or does the blackness simply reflect the void Tony's been circling all along? The truth is, it doesn't matter. Because Tony Soprano's story was never about how he would die. It was about how he lived, half aware, half asleep, caught in the slow-motion collapse of his own soul. That final fade isn't an answer. It's a statement. Life doesn't give closure. It just stops. Tony Soprano remains television's most haunting creation because he embodies the contradictions of our time: power without peace, success without satisfaction, family without forgiveness. He is both the dream and the nightmare of modern manhood, a living requiem for the myth of control.